Hey, friend, again, this is Dr. Ken, your financial coach. I am just so excited that you are taking a moment to watch this. I believe that you are on the brink of something phenomenal financially. But listen, probably where you are right now doesn't look like it. Okay? Listen, I've been there. I know what it is to have this big dream inside of you, to want these things in life so that you can perhaps, be better giver to charity, perhaps maybe better support your family, or just have some nice things in life. Well, those things will happen when we have our finances in order. So I wanted to take a moment again to talk about controlling or managing or mastering your finances. It's so critically important that we have that financial piece in order. And one of the first steps of becoming financial free is to get out of debt. You know, a lot of my teaching is all biblically based, and I do that because I believe the Bible still is the most powerful book on the planet. And the Bible has a lot to say about money. In fact, it says more about money than does the heaven. Doesn't mean the heaven is not more important than money, but it just simply means that while you're living here on the earth, you need to know how to handle money. And one of those areas that tend to just kind of stress your life is financial debt. And I don't know about you, but I remember being in debt even to the point of getting ready to face bankruptcy. And I was sitting in that lawyer's office ready to file bankruptcy. And I remember sitting there giving the lawyer my paperwork. And then he leaves and he goes in the back room. He says, "I'll be right back, Mr. Robinson. It looks like everything we got is in order." So he goes in the back there, and I'm sitting at this desk and I'm hearing this voice, and it says, "Get out of here. I have a better way for you." And I knew what that voice was. It was the voice of God. I ran out of there. I started driving down the street, tears coming out of my eyes, saying, "God, how are you going to deliver me from this financial dilemma?" Well, to make a long story short, he did. The first thing he started to do is show me how to get out of debt. I'm going to show you a few principles that helped me get out of debt. I was facing at that time, which is back in 1992, $50,000 of personal debt. That's a lot of debt. But God brought me out. And not only did he bring me out, but he put me in a place where I was able to be a blessing to other people. And if you're watching me, I know that's your desire too. And I can help you if you just stay with me just a few more minutes. I'm going to give you the principles that help me get out of debt, begin to master my finances, and live a life of abundance financially ever since. Okay, so here's what I want to start with. Deuteronomy, the 15th chapter, because I believe everything starts with God. In 15th chapter of Deuteronomy, God says to Moses, "At the end of every 7 years, you shall grant a release of debts." At the end of every 7 years. So here it is. God has instilled within the culture of his people that every 7 years, I want you debt free. Now, God told Moses to tell the culture that everyone's going to be free from debt every 7 years. That should give you an idea of just how God feels about debt. And it's amazing today that some of your credit programs will wipe out at least your bad credit after 7 years. But what doesn't always happen is companies don't wipe out your debt every 7 years. But God can if you practice the principles I'm going to share with you. So we talk about getting out of debt. The first thing you got to do is write it down. You got to record all the debts. And I remember sitting there in my living room with tears coming down my eyes, writing down those personal debts. Didn't realize I was in the mess I was in. And I remember how painful that was, but it was probably the most important thing because you don't know where you're going until you figure out where you are. And so you got to write them down. So I write them down, and not only just write down your debts, but then write beside that on a piece of paper where you want to go. Because you don't want to be writing down all that sad stuff, Everybody, you want to also have a vision of where you're going. So on the other side, talk about where you see yourself going. Then the next thing I want you to do, and I want you to hear this, is that make up in your mind you're going to give God what belongs to him first. We call that in the kingdom tithing. Yeah. You got to give God what belongs to him. And so he says, give me back the first tenth of what you earn. Honor me. Now, that's what it is. It's a principle of honor. It's not the amount. It's a principle of honor, and it is a principle of faith. And he says, I will supernaturally get into your money flow. Now we know God says, I'm going to supernaturally get in your money flow, because one of the promises of tithing is he'll rebuke the devourer. And so that means that there is something that is trying to eat up your finances all the time. But God says when you tithe, I'll hold back, stop, prevent the devourer from destroying your finances. So there's many other doors will be open when you tithe. The list goes on, but I want you to understand that tithing is a key to getting out of debt. Thirdly, seek knowledge concerning money. Seek knowledge concerning money. You know, we go to school for 12 years, sometimes even 16 years, and we never get taught the money game. It's funny. I mean, we take all of these subject matters and we study mathematics, engineering, accounting. We study all of these subjects, and all of them are to make money. But yet, we never learn how to handle it or manage it. So you have to take time to study books on money. You don't have to be a financial guru, but take time to seek knowledge. Listen to this. If ignorance was your thief, then knowledge will be your restorer. There's a scripture that says, my people perish because of a lack of knowledge. I remember as a tax accountant, it was so important for me to make sure when I had my accounting and tax practice, to make sure that I took advantage of all of the tax laws so that I could have a better tax return that year. The laws that I didn't know, I lost every single time. But it amazed me just knowing those tax laws, how much money I saved. So sometimes it's just ignorance. Somebody said, if you think that education costs, try ignorance, okay? So here it is. You educate yourself concerning money. You study some things regarding finances, and that helps prepare you and gives you a hunger to want to do better. And then, of course, here's the one that you don't hear much. Find something in your house to sell. That's right. We have a whole lot of stuff that we could be exchanging for some cash. I mean, it's for real. I remember going through my house and having yard sales, doing whatever I can to just get cash back. Remember this, what may be trash to you may be another man's treasure. So go through your house and sell the thing. You remember what the prophet said to that lady in 2 Kings, I believe it's the 4th chapter? He said to the woman, what is in your house? And sometimes the key to you getting out of debt is right in your home. So you find the things that you can sell. Now we got eBay. Back then when I was getting out there, we didn't have eBay, okay? But you got eBay now. You got all these, you have Craigslist. You have all these ways now that you can sell things. And when you sell it, don't take the proceeds you get from selling it and go down to the mall or start shopping. You've just defeated your purpose. You sell it, and when you get that money, you apply it to your debt plan. And that's the last thing I want to give you for the day is develop a debt plan. That maybe could have been the first, but let me give it to you now. As you list your debts, you list them from the highest to the lowest. And as this money comes in, you pay off from the lowest to the top. And as you pay off from the lowest to the top, you celebrate every victory. But before you know it, you'll be out of debt. I mean, there's just so many ways you can get extra income. You can readjust your payroll status from your withholdings from payroll. And that's an extra $50 to $70 a month, okay? You can sell, as I said earlier, the things in your house. You can do an extra business on the side. Notice I said extra business. I'm not a big fan on doing extra jobs on the side because typically what you spend to do the extra job, from the energy, the mileage, the gas, you end up not making much anyway. But an extra business, home-based business, many times can bring just that extra push you need, that extra money you need to help pay down some of your debt. And if you just put some of these things I just shared with you in practice, you'll be surprised what kind of release you'll have in your life when you become debt-free. I hope you're taking the things I've just shared with you. There's a few other strategies I'll come back and share with you, but I hope you've taken the strategies I've shared, and as you apply them, I'm telling you, you're going to be out of debt before you know it. And I can tell you, it's one life to be in debt and it's another life to be out of debt. And the life out of debt is so much more better and so much more joyous. And the freedom you have and the opportunities that come are worth all the time you take to get out of debt. Well, I'm just so grateful that you've taken the time to listen to me. I have a number of products I want to share with you. I firstly want to share the book that I'm teaching from today, Creating Wealth in the New Economy Workbook. This is a financial planning guide for the new economy. Things have shifted in our economy. They're not the same as they were. And though what we do in that book, we show you how to get out of debt, how to stay out of debt. We show you how to restore your credit. We show you how to start a home-based business. We show you how to be an entrepreneur, an infopreneur, and a duopreneur. There's so many things we show you. We literally show you how to make, manage, and multiply your money. That's what I want to do for you, and I want to be a blessing to you. Stay tuned right where you are. Kind of check out some of the things we're making available for you, and it's all for your financial blessing and your financial increase. Okay? You have an amazing, amazing day. Again, this is Dr. Ken saying to you, it's your time and your turn for financial freedom.